Now, just before the next programme, we go over to Peter Sissons in the newsroom for a news report.
Within the past hour, there's been an explosion on a double-decker bus in central London. It happened just before 20 to 11 in Wellington Street near the Strand. A number of people are understood to be injured. Emergency services are now on the scene. Police say they received no warnings. The explosion comes just over a week since the IRA ended its ceasefire. One of the eyewitnesses to tonight's explosion in central London in the Aldwych area, round about 20 to 11, when a bus exploded, a double-decker bus exploded. We know there are casualties. The police say no warning was given, and we'll bring you more news on that as we get it. There is a junction on BBC 2 at 12:35. That, for now, is the end of this news report.
This is BBC One. Now to our film. Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson star in Heartburn.
This is BBC Two. Now, before the next programme, we go over to Peter Sissons in the newsroom for a news report.
An explosion wrecked a double-decker bus tonight in the West End of London. Police confirmed there were casualties. Unconfirmed reports say that 3 people are dead. Scotland Yard said the blast occurred in Wellington Street near the Strand just before 20 to 11. One eyewitness said a bus has exploded. It's a terrible scene. Another said the bus was completely blown to pieces. Police said there were no warning calls before the explosion, which came 9 days after the IRA called off its ceasefire. Our reporter Martin Dawes has just sent us this report from the scene. 0171834 7777. We'll bring you more on this London explosion on BBC One at 1:20 past.
Now on BBC Two, we join Bill Giles with tonight's weather view.
Hello again. It's going to turn much colder in northern and western parts of Europe in the next few days. I think over in this country there will be some widespread frosts around, with most of the snow in the next 24-48 hours on the eastern side of the country. Further afield, over in...
This morning in just a moment, right after the news from ITN.
Good morning. Detectives say an onboard video camera could give vital clues about last night's bomb on a London bus. The explosion in the heart of the capital killed 1 person and injured 9 others. A fingertip search of the area for other clues is now underway.
These are the first pictures showing in daylight the wreckage of the double-decker bus which exploded last night in the Aldwych in central London. The driver was thrown out of the bus by the force of the blast. He's being treated in hospital with 4 other people. 1 body was found at the scene. The explosion came without warning just after 10:30 last night.
The 1 o'clock news now on BBC One with Hugh Edwards.
Confirmation from the IRA that they caused the explosion in central London. Sinn Féin says it's the end of the peace process. Good afternoon. At least 1 person is dead after the bomb exploded without warning last night. Police think the device went off accidentally. Today's other stories: experts hope to start pumping the oil cargo off the stricken tanker in West Wales.
And here in New Hampshire, the American Republicans are in turmoil. With 24 hours to go before the first and critical primary, they're locked in an ugly squabble about who should take on Bill Clinton for the White House.
Police are still searching the wreckage of the bus blown apart by a bomb in central London last night.
evening, I'm Lindsay Charlton.
And I'm Liz Wickham. In London tonight, IRA bomb on the 171 bus. Was it a spectacular terrorist own goal? One terror suspect is dead, another under armed guard in hospital.
And another long journey home, how commuters vow to beat the bombers. First tonight, an IRA suspect is under armed guard in hospital after his own bomb blew apart a London bus. It's thought that his accomplice was killed in last night's blast, a spectacular IRA own goal.
Within the last hour, Scotland Yard said that 2 men were arrested under the Prevention of Terrorism Act following the bomb on a 171 bus. It exploded on the Aldwych in the West End at 10:38 last night. Did Mike say pain and suffering in that weather? I don't believe it. We're in for much worse, aren't we, Laura?
Well, I think so. It's certainly been bitterly cold today, and we've seen flakes of snow right around the capital. I'm afraid that snow is going to become heavier and more widespread through tonight, and that, together with strong winds, could well lead to some disruption for rush hour tomorrow morning. Now, the reason for all of this, as you can see here on the satellite picture, is a big swirl of cloud, and that's around a low pressure. That's providing the snow, and it's also sucking very cold air down with it from the Arctic. So a bitterly cold night for all of us tonight. Temperatures as low as -3 Celsius, so a widespread frost, and those flurries of snow right across the capital. Needless to say, a miserable start to the day tomorrow. More flurries of snow and ice on some of the roads, but we are going to see a gradual improvement as we go through the afternoon, with some slightly drier and brighter weather moving into the west of the region. Still the east, though, hanging on to those showers of snow. Staying cold and very windy as well. That's all from me.
Now back to our top story this evening, that IRA bus bomb. We return now live to Christopher Peacock, who's at the scene.
3 headlines there are tonight. The first is the man who died could have been the IRA bomber. Secondly, another IRA member who could have been an accomplice on the bus may be recovering from his injuries in St Thomas's Hospital. Thirdly, 2 people have been arrested under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. They were detained, we understand, at Walworth in South London. They're now at Paddington Green Police Station. Back to the studio.
Chris, thank you. That is the scene from tonight, from last night's bomb. There is, in fact, an emergency number. If you were a witness last night, the police would like to talk to you. 0800 789 321. That's it from us. Good night.
Good night.
These market forces are coming under pressure. Nothing lasts forever.
Time to retire.
Did you get any descriptions?